All right, and get a little sip of coffee there. So that's again the best part of this particular chart is not the top. The top is just the basics. Remember, this is where I started the chart, and I was in oblivion, right? I was like, what am I doing? What am I going to do with this? So these are just the simple arpeggios, the modal arpeggios, as they go across a large fretboard. Okay, this is the third. Now, the second down here, the root would be down here, but I guess I just, covered a certain big enough amount of the keyboard, of the fretboard, where we'd have some repeat on each side. So we've covered them all. And I like to usually cover the situation where the D is on this side of the E shape. All right, so we can look at each situation. Again, it's root, 3, 5, root. All right, and then we can take it to the 7, and this stuff. 7, 2, 4, 7. All right, and then we go to the Aeolian 6, the relative 6. 6, root, 3, 6. And then down to the Mixolydian 5th, right? Which is going to be another major. And another major on the 4th. We're getting lower. Here's the Phrygian 3rd. Okay, that was a different interval now. That was a minor, then a major. And then the second we'll have to go back up here for. So it doesn't matter where you are as long as you know the intervals. Don't worry about that these are smaller notes and these are bigger notes. Just learn what's going on in a virtual fretboard up there. I have these big screens. I even wanted to get a bigger one, but maybe that's not such a good idea for my eyes. But the screens are better. The plasma screens are better than they used to be. So the Dorian, uh, you know, okay. um, it's like some. That's like some arpeggiation going there. Somebody's trying to ramp this thing up to be something more than it is. So we've got to keep it simple. That's just something on my keyboard. Press that button, and to stop that, I'll just turn it on and turn it off again. Okay. Anyway, that's the arpeggios, but and we're gonna scroll down now and look at the arpeggios again. Okay, so those are the basic arpeggios, and they also live in these big cages here. But let's scroll down because you see right here, these actually span the length of the cages, and I can show you that these are as simple as these ones. Hopefully I can show you that. They are, but hopefully I can show you that they are as simple. I'm really just kind of zooming out. So we have on this particular fretboard the Dorian and the Ionian, and the Locrian is with the Dorian because that they share a lot of notes. So here's the Dorian, and here's the Locrian. Okay. They kind of share a lot of notes there, and that's the way I'm going to be doing my half diminished chords. Would be to play a second minor. So the Dorian is 2, 4, 6. And you add the 7th to get the half diminished. Okay, that 7 will probably replace the 6 because the 6 is merely the 7th of the 6 is merely the 7th of the 7th. Okay, so sounds complicated, but it isn't. Ionian R3/5 is on the bottom. Now, there's no substitution for the majors. You have C, you have C here, okay? You have F and G. I'll just play that G. There's no substitution for the majors, so this is it. Now it looks too complicated because let's look at our root inversion. Okay, our root arpeggio. Okay, root 3, 5, root. By the way, these labels, there's no playable notes where those labels are. I just had to put them somewhere, so I put them where those minor chords are going to be when we get to the minors. With the root, it's just root 3, 5, root, okay, and then a warp there and 5. This one right here, what shape are we looking at with this root? Well, guess what? It says E root right there. This is, let me see if I can get that drawing tool up. Alright, so right here is this E box. It's E cross A cross C. So the E is the root part. Root always is that bottom note in the E shape. So when you just play in your guitar, when you just play an E like that, all right, in mine it would be a C because I'm down tuned. The bottom note is that root in the E shaped chord. So there's the root, all right. And this is the caged box that encompasses this part of the arpeggio, all right. And what we have in here is particularly a second inversion root chord right here, incorporated in this tri-pentatonic cage box, all right. So where it's really a study of where these things fall, but it gets more interesting because it's with the minors that it gets more interesting. So the arpeggio would move on, all right. The arpeggio marches on till we get to this next box, which here, hey, it's formed a chord there. Uh-oh, what's going on with that? Now the root is the A position. Okay, so we'll just outline this thing. This is what it is. All right. This is why it's better for me to use this particular fretboard on the chart, because I've outlined the length of the description of the boxes to be equal to it. Up here, that's not true. All right. Up here, that's not true. These little boxes aren't equal to the length of the box that it covers. It is true in this situation. So we have the rest of the arpeggio forms a nice little chord here. Here's a root chord, all right, and that would fall into the tripentatonic A, D, E box. All right, where is that? What is that A, D, E? It's A shape and D shape and E shape. Now the E shape is going to be on that fifth. Okay, all together they form a scale. All right, that wasn't in the box. That was this R here. Okay, so that's the drawing tool doesn't seem to be being much help while it's yellow, because everything's yellow with the Ionian. All right, so now let's get to something more. So like I say, you got the A-shaped R, and there's the A-shaped R right